Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be building this really easy, simple, and affordable railing for our basement. So stick around and see what I've got planned. So for this railing, I want to go for more of a simple farm style railing. A lot of the wood we're using is going to be just square lumber and a little bit rougher. We're going to paint this and sand it down a little bit towards the end when we're finished. But I'm going to use a 4x4 for the two newel posts at the bottom of the stairs. This can easily work for one 8-foot 4x4, cut it in half and use it twice. So it'll save a lot of money instead of buying the expensive fancy newel posts that you can get for at the bottom of the steps. This is a lot cheaper and it will look nice once we're done. So I'm gonna notch these so that the 4x4 sit half on the steps and half off. That will give me something to bolt to the steps, and also help the 2x4 and the spindles to also line up half on the steps as well. Now to mount the 4x4s to the steps, I'm going to be using 4 3-inch long screws to go in from the side into the side of the step, and I'll also be toenailing a few screws down from the side of the 4x4 into the tread of the step as well. Now on this other side, there is a 2x10 running up the side of the steps, so I'm going to be cutting this 4x4 at an angle so that sets perfectly into that 2x10. Now to make this notch, I'm going to use a trick with a circular saw to make several cuts in a row, every 1/4 inch apart to 1/2 inch, and then once I've made all those cuts, I can come back with a hammer and chisel and break all those pieces out really easily. And then if there are any high points or knots that didn't come out quite right, I can use the chisel and break off all those high points as well. Now it's really important to make sure you get the same height on the handrail on the railing at the bottom of the stairs as the top, because you don't want to change in elevations or else it could be hard sometimes to hold on to the railing and can get frustrating. So what I'm going to do is take a measurement off of the bottom newel post where the railing is touching the newel post, and up at the top I'll measure on the same spot of the tread on each of those steps and make sure I have the same exact height. Now the easiest way I've found to get the exact angle you need as well as the length is to just hold it up in place where you need the railing to go, and you can easily transfer the mark from the newel post and from the top of the stairs. Once you have those marks, it's a breeze to cut this out and it should fit just right. Now I'm going to be using a 2x4 for the handrails, and I'm going to take a round over bit with my routing table, and I'm going to round over all the corners so that it's kind of like an oval shaped. It'll be nice and smooth and easy to grab with your hands. It's not going to be square and a harsh shape to hold on to. I'm going to soften this up a little bit as well as sand it down, make sure there's no splinters or any rough parts, because you are going to be running your hand across this a lot and you don't want any rough pieces on it. Now this is another way you can save a little bit of money, and instead of buying the expensive pre-made handrails that they have at the store, you can easily make your own by using this technique. With a router or routing table, you can smooth this out and round over the edges on these 2x4s and it'll look really nice. Now to mount the handrail, I'm going to be putting 2 2-inch long screws through the handrail into the newel post, toenailing them underneath so that it hides the screws, and then I'll also be toenailing 2 screws up into the floor joists up above the railing. And I'm also going to be putting 2 more into the side of the handrail, tying back into those floor joists as well. Now for the spindles, I'll be using regular 2x2 lumber at 8 foot long. I'll be able to cut this in half and use 2 spindles, equaling about $1.50 per spindle. Now if I got the pack of pre-made spindles, it would equal about almost $4 per spindle, so I'm saving more than half the money using these 2x2s. Mounting each of the spindles is fairly easy. 1 screw toe-nailed up into the handrail and then 2 down into the side of the stairs at the bottom. And I also notched each of these spindles to cut half of it out so that it can be half on the step and then half on the side of the stairs as well. I'm using a guide block to make sure that all my spindles are the same distance apart, and that keeps me going at the same pattern all the way up the stairs. Keep watching the video to the end to see what this looks like when it's all finished, but if you've liked this video so far, hit that like button down below. That will help me out a ton. Now I finished assembling the rails and all the spindles. I'm going to dress up the newel posts a little bit more and add some nice caps on top of those to make them look a little nicer. So I've got a piece of cedar here. I'm going to cut this down so it hangs over the side of the 4x4 a ½ inch on all sides. I'm also going to send this through the router to round over the top of this top plate and make it a little bit nicer. Now to mount this to the newel post, I'm going to put 4 screws down into the 4x4. This is a little overkill and a little bit of glue on top, but I don't want this falling off or breaking off, so I'm going to put some glue and tighten this down with some screws as well. I'm also going to be putting 1 more block on top of this. This will cover up the screw holes so you don't have to worry too much about those. I'm going to take another 4x4, I'll cut a 2-inch section and I'll put that right down on top, and I'll also round over those edges as well with the router to make it a little smoother. Now I'll put 2 screws down through that with a little bit of glue underneath, and that will hold everything together really nicely. Now that I have everything assembled and put together, I'm going to start painting, and all the spindles, the newel posts will all be white, as well as the side of the steps. I'm going to be painting that white so it doesn't clash with the white walls as well. And the rail itself is going to be painted the same color as the stairs. I'm also going to be putting a new coat of paint on the stairs once I'm done to clean it up and make everything look nice and fresh with a new coat of paint. Now another step I'm not showing you guys on video is I'm going to come back once I put a couple coats of paint on this. I'm going to come back with white caulk and I'm going to fill in all the screws and cover them up completely. You won't even see them and they'll blend in with the white paint. So that's a final finishing step that I'll do when I'm all done painting and touching up. Now after 2 coats of paint on the new railing and 1 fresh coat of paint on the stairs, I'm just about finished. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video or found it helpful at all. Now with this style of railing, you really can save several hundreds of dollars on railings. The price of lumber right now is through the roof, and it can really add up when you're building railings like this. So hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, hit that like button down below. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, I upload a new DIY or home improvement video each week. So if you don't want to miss out on that, hit that subscribe button, and that will help you keep track of all my videos. If you have any questions or comments, leave that down in the comment section down below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks guys, I'll see you in the next one.